Hey guys, welcome to session 8, and we're going to talk about the midterm exam instructions in this video. So this will be pretty short. I just want to walk you through what you need to do for the midterm exam so you kind of understand what's expected, and then you guys can go in and complete it. So your assignment for session 8 is obviously to complete the midterm exam. You have a 1-week window in which you can complete it. So if you're watching this video in future semesters, I will always update the deadline here as well as down here. And then you can see here when it will actually activate. So you'll have a time period of 7 days to complete this. You can complete it anytime within those 7 days. Just make sure that you are aware of the deadline up here. So I'm originally doing this in the summer 2020 semester, but if you're watching this in the fall or spring in the future, I will update these dates for your current semester, okay? The instructions will be the same though. So let's take a look really quick at the midterm exam. I will tell you before you jump into this, the exam does have a timer on it. Just to be fair to students that have taken this class in person in the past, in an in-class setting, we have 3 hours and 50 minutes to complete the exam. So that's what I've given you guys. I don't think it will take you anywhere near that long, but just be aware that once you do start the exam, there is a timer of 3 hours and 50 minutes that will go, and at the end it will shut off and submit your exam. So keep that in mind. You want to wait until you know you have a big chunk of time that is going to be undisturbed that you can devote to starting this and finishing it in one sitting. So keep that in mind. I think it probably will take you, if you're doing well on the homework assignments, you understand the material we've been going through, you know where to find the information in the class, probably between 1 and 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. If you find that the CAD work in Inventor does not come very naturally to you and it takes you a little bit longer, you're going to want to allow yourself some more time. But there is a maximum limit of 3 hours and 50 minutes on the exam. So keep that in mind. Now, another thing here before you jump in, there are 3 files that you're going to use towards the end of the exam that you want to go ahead and download probably so that those aren't slowing you down while you're doing the exam. So I'll show you those really quick, and then we'll actually look at the exam itself. So the first one, this is for question number 13. If you click on this, this is just a pre-made Inventor file. It's a part file that I gave you guys that you're going to use for one of the questions for question number 13. So just go ahead and click this thing and download it and make sure you know where it's at on your computer. And when you open it up, it looks kind of like a little U bracket with a threaded hole in the top of it and a couple little feet down at the bottom, if I'm remembering the correct part here. I'll show you what it looks like. Here we go. So this piece I already made for you guys. It's done, ready to go. You don't have to model it. So you will need this for question 13. So go ahead and download that thing before you start the test. And then questions 14 and 15, I have in here as a PDF, and you can go in and print those out. So if you click on these, I'll download both of them here, and then we'll just take a look. All right, so question 14, the idea on these are question 14 and 15 are done with pencil and paper. So you're gonna want to print these out ahead of time, or you can use the PDF if you have a way to electronically edit it on your computer, like a photo editing program or some kind of PDF editing program where you can draw on it with your mouse or with a like a stylus on the screen if you have a touch screen. You can do these questions 14 and 15 electronically if you have the provisions of doing that. If not though, the way I intended for you to do this is to print it out and do it with pencil and paper and then scan them and upload them. Or you can take a photo of them when you're done with your phone and turn that into a picture or a PDF. So you can decide how you want to do it, but these are the 2 sheets for questions 14 and 15 that you guys can download ahead of time. So the reason I put these in here is I don't want you to be trying to figure out how to do these questions during the test while the timer's going. I don't want that to be a source of stress for you. So before you start the test, figure out how you're going to do these 2 questions, whether you're going to do them electronically or find a place to print them out, get your ruler, get set up so you have everything ready to go. I don't want you to be trying to fight with these two questions and all the software I was going to use isn't working, or my printer's out of toner or out of ink, can't find my ruler, and the timer's ticking over on my laptop. So open these up, get them ready to go before you start, because I don't want you guys to run into any issues. So 13, 14, and 15 are the three things I've provided to you for the test. So make sure you've got those downloaded, ready to go, opened up, printed out, whatever you need to do. So let's look at the actual exam, and we'll talk about what you need to know here. So this is worth 100 points. If you click on it, it will give you a quick set of instructions here, which I'll kind of show you here in person, but you're more than welcome to read through those. And there are maybe some mentions in here of turning things into me as a hard copy. That's obviously for students that are doing this in class. So you guys will upload everything for the whole test electronically. And anything like question 14 and 15, like I said, you'll scan those or take a photo of them. So you guys will do the entire thing electronically. So let's go down and preview this. And there is a 230-minute timer, remember, which just shy of 4 hours. So 3 hours, 50 minutes. So questions 1 through 10 come from the lecture material. So you may want to go back, and this is open book, remember, open book, open note, open resource. You can use anything you want other than another person on this. So I don't care if you Google things. I don't care if you go back and watch my other YouTube videos. If you want to go back and look at my lecture notes, you know, kind of whatever you want to do there is up to you, as long as you are the one doing the work. So keep that in mind. There is a timer on here also. So, you know, you want to be realistic about what you can look up and what you can do in the time allotted. So don't spend, you know, an hour trying to figure out one question, because there is a time limit, but you can go back and look up things as needed. So questions 1 through 10 are kind of traditional style textbook questions where you go through and true false matching, fill in the blank, you know, short answer. Some of these, when you turn them in, it's the Ivy Learn algorithm is going to try to automatically grade these. And there's a lot of questions that it just flat out can't grade, like the short answer questions where you type in your answer. There's no way for it to grade that. And sometimes on like fill in the blank, if you put a space in there differently or if you capitalize it differently, sometimes it'll count it wrong. So just know that when you submit your exam, Ivy Learn's going to automatically grade it, but the grade does not mean anything. And like all the questions at the bottom, all the CAD questions that you do on Inventor, it's going to try and grade those. Well, it's not going to grade them actually, because it doesn't know what file you've turned in. So when you turn this thing in, you're probably going to have like a 12 out of 100. Don't panic, because it's basically not been graded yet. I still have to go through and manually grade every question on your test, and I'll do that. So don't panic at the end if you hit the submit button and it tells you got like an 8% on your midterm exam. It's not the correct grade until I go through and fix everything. So don't panic about that. It will happen. So, you know, there's matching, fill in the blank, short answer. On the short answer questions like this, make sure you answer all the parts of the question. So some of these are 2 or 3 part questions. So read through the whole thing and make sure you've answered each part of the questions that I'm asking you in there to give me a complete answer. So after you get through the first 10 questions, you get to what I call the practical part of the exam, where you're actually going to do things. So question 11 is a Inventor question where you're going to do a part model, an IPT file. This one's in inches. So you're just going to open up your Inventor software and you're just going to model the part. You do not have to make the drawing page on this question. You're just making the part file. So I put the drawing in here for you guys to use so you can see it. But when you're done, all you're going to turn into me is just your finished 3D model. You're not going to have a drawing page for this question. Same thing on number 12. You're going to model the part file, the IPT for this piece. I've given you all the information you need right here. And you're going to do this one in millimeters. And when you get done with these 2 questions, you can upload your file here. And your other IPT file you can put right here. Question 13 is the drawing question. This is the one that you downloaded the file for, which it looks familiar to you, hopefully. But you're going to go through and you're going to set up a title block with a drawing on it for this piece. Okay, so this is the title block I want you to use. Remember, if you don't have the Ivy Tech template, you can go back to the session 7 lecture and figure out how to get that template, or you can go to the video that I put at the very top of Ivy Learn that's next to the 2 template files. So you do need to have the Ivy Tech template in there. Don't use the standard ones in Inventor. And if you need to see how to get that, go back to session 7 and look at the lecture. I show you how to do it in there. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take the part file that I gave you, it's already done, and you're just going to use the instructions that I gave you up here to set up a drawing page on the METC template that meets the requirements that I asked for up at the top. Once you do that, you'll go ahead and dimension the drawing and upload it. Now, when you upload this question, it's only going to let you choose one file at a time. So on this question, you want to upload your drawing file, your IDW. I already have the part file, so it's nice if you can upload them as a pair, but IvyLearn's not going to let you. It's only going to let you put in a one file. So when you upload, give me your IDW drawing file. Don't worry about the part file. I've already got that, okay? So on question 13, give me your drawing file, the IDW. On question 14 and 15, these are the ones you're going to do with pencil paper. So on this one, or electronically like in Paint or Photoshop, or if you have a photo editing software, you're more than welcome to do that. But you're going to take this drawing and measure it. And so probably doing this on paper with a ruler is the best way, but you can take this and measure it in millimeters, and then you're going to label the dimensions on the drawing. So this is sort of like what we did in session 6, where we took drawings and measured them and looked at the philosophy of putting dimensions on the drawing. So remember your 5 fundamental rules for dimensioning a drawing. If you need to see those, you can go back to the session 6 PowerPoint and pull those up and look at my slide that has Larry Bird on there, and you can go back and look at the 5 fundamental rules of dimensioning. You can also go back and look at the session 6 practice that we did together, where we looked at how to list these dimensions on a drawing. So session 6 lecture is going to help you with this question if you get stuck. But you're basically going to list all the dimensions on there, then take this and either scan it in and put your scanned file right there, or take a photo of it where I can see everything nicely, and take that photo, and then you're going to upload it into the Dropbox. Okay. Same thing on number 15. This is the other one that I gave you that you've probably got printed out. So you're going to draw the missing right side view over here. So I've given you the front view, the top view, and the isometric view. You're going to create the missing right side view, and then either scan it, photo it, upload it to this Dropbox right here. Okay. And the point values for each question are listed in here. So once you get done with all of that, you can hit the submit quiz button, and it will let you back to the regular session 8 screen, I believe. So I do want to show you guys what happens if you navigate out of the quiz. So some people always wonder about this, like what if I just navigate away from this? So notice right here I've got what, 3 minutes or 3 hours 43 minutes and about 15 seconds. So if I navigate out of this and I haven't submitted anything, it does automatically save your answers. So if you click out of the exam, it's going to save any of the choices that you've put in there, but it won't submit them. So right now, if I had answered any questions, the answers to each of those would be saved. The check boxes or the fill in the blank or the drop boxes, those are all going to be the same when you go back in. So when I click on this exam, if I go back into it, it'll take you right back in there. Now mine starts over obviously because I'm an instructor and I get unlimited attempts on this, but it should give you, your timer is going to be in there still, and it will save all your answers. So when you're done, make sure you go down and hit the submit quiz button, but don't, and you can see it automatically saves every minute or two. Don't submit it until you're totally done, okay? If you need to click out of the screen, you can, but I would recommend doing some different browser tabs up here at the top like I have. So that's all I got for you guys on this video. Hopefully that kind of helps you understand how the midterm exam works and give you more of a comfort level with it. So that's your session 8 homework assignment, is really to finish that midterm exam. And remember, the deadline is listed in session 8 up here at the top, and then probably in the Dropbox for the assignment, and maybe even in your calendar in IvyLearn. So it's probably in a bunch of places, but make sure you get it completed before the deadline. So I hope this helps. Good luck on your midterm exam, and I will see you guys in the session 9 video. Bye.